Thanks.
All right, so the big news of the day, the announcement of an effective vaccine for COVID-19. To find out more about what this all means for us, we're going to turn to an expert right now. Professor Susan Keck from the Salk Institute is joining us to discuss this a little bit more. Thank you for talking to us tonight.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on. This is such an exciting day.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that because, I mean, from my perspective, when I hear about a 90% success rate in a vaccine, I get really excited. But in your professional opinion, what does that really mean to you about its potential?
It means a lot. I mean, this is the great news the world needed to hear. 90% is high. It's I think a lot of us were optimistic that the vaccine was going to lead to protection. Based on what we know about the way the virus works and operates. But to reach a 90% level of efficacy and protection is really outstanding. A lot of vaccines can work with less efficacy, but not all achieve 90%. So this is exciting.
So, I mean, this has been a really fast-tracked process. So, I mean, how thorough has the testing been? I mean, as far as how many people have been tested?
Well, the numbers have, they've reached over tens of thousands of people. I think this particular vaccine they reported today over 44,000, if I have it correct, which is in the size that they need to start to get the statistically significant data to tell if the vaccine is being protective. So they were able to achieve that under record-breaking time and circumstances. So it says a lot for the companies that are already engaged in these large phase 3 trials, of which there are several more, as we know. But this is, I think, the rigor at which it was being conducted and the safety by which it was being evaluated was at the highest. There's a lot of oversight that goes into these phase 3 vaccine trials, even with outside groups watching and looking at the data with scrutiny. So there's a lot of confidence that this vaccine is going to be safe and protective.
Have you heard anything about possible or known side effects?
For this one, I believe some fever was experienced by some of the people in the trial. But adverse events, these trials have not reported any adverse events. So I think we're also fortunate on that side as well.
So I know Pfizer is going to be submitting this vaccine to the FDA for their emergency approval. How long does that process take?
That I'm not sure, but given the circumstances, I'm sure they'll be fast tracking that as much as they can. This was the first stage of data revealing that they put into the study when they were designing the phase 3 trial. And so there's going to be, as soon as they are able to also see more infections within the group of people who were involved in the trial in total, both the people who got the vaccine and those who didn't, as they see more infection numbers increase within the total population, then they'll start to unveil a second stage. And so we'll have even more numbers to work with at that point. But I think we'll probably the size for the number of people that they've already been able to evaluate is quite large to provide them that statistical significance.
So what happens to all the other phase 3 trials that are underway right now? Do those stop, or could we potentially have a few different vaccines to choose from?
That's why this is also so exciting is at a couple of different points. One is that many of the vaccines are, even though they're using different formats for the vaccine, they're targeting the same part of the virus. So what that tells us by the Pfizer data is that this is probably going to be a very good target for trying to elucidate immune responses to prevent or block infection. So that's very exciting because many other vaccines are also targeting that same part of the virus. And the vaccines differ. So I think we're probably going to have several vaccines that are going to be showing us efficacy. I don't know if all of them will reach 90%, but probably this gives us a really good feeling that many of the other vaccines are going to probably develop protection as well.
All right.
Which leaves us with a lot of options. So
these are good options to have. I want to ask you a personal question, so feel free if you don't want to answer it, but I think it's very relevant. Will you be taking this vaccine if FDA goes ahead and green lights it?
I definitely would feel confident taking this vaccine. Again, given the safety, the evaluations, the oversight is at very high levels, and so I would feel very confident in taking this vaccine. My children getting the vaccine, I don't think will be the highest on the list of people to receive the vaccine, but as they make up distribution schedules, but I definitely would be right in line to take it.
All right. Hearing that from you means a lot to the rest of us. So, Susan, I appreciate your time tonight. Stay close, of course, because I know we're going to want to talk to you more in the coming weeks here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we're not